Okay, so we're going to line bucket with Hunt, and they guess right. 7 on the line bucket is going to be a no gainer. Okay, 3rd and 4. Oh. Hi. How are you? So, yeah, just learning a game here. Just learning some Stratomatic football. And I guess, between last night and this morning, I guess I just kind of started thinking about, it's been, I was looking at some stuff as far as like emails that I sent long ago to a couple of accounts. And, I realized the anniversary for this channel is probably either just gone, 5-year anniversary, just gone, or it's coming up. And it got me to thinking, I really feel like early on I did more videos that were kind of like discussing this hobby. And I don't know if I've done that as much. A lot of times if I do, it's kind of like at the tail end of a video or something like that. So I guess I would start just by saying, this video is going to be like, why cards and dice? And, we have, what are we doing with this? It's sports. And, there's lots of good computer sims out there that relate to sports. Like, you want to talk about the EA Sports collection. That's not, I don't know, as a lot of people consider that a sports sim. That's more like an entertainment game. But then you've got these games, heck, Stratomatic. This company makes a pretty good sports simulation game. There's like Diamond Mine and Out of the Park and all these other ones. Too many to mention. If you like Soccer Football Manager, there's Pro Football, is there a strategy game, an action PC, and it's just, there's a lot of them out there, right? So why cards and dice? And where this ends up starting is back in my young years, my youth. I was probably 12 years old, and something like that, playing Little League, maybe 11, I don't know. And my grandmother during the summer would take me to rummage sales, and then to, is Kmart still in business? I think it is, but there aren't many left. We would always go to Kmart, and then we go to another one that's no longer around, which is called Ames. And that was kind of like maybe 2 summer afternoons, and mornings and afternoons. We would do that. We would go rummage sailing. We'd go and get lunch at this place called the Texas Hot in Wellsville. If you ever want to go to a nice nostalgic place, started by the Regas family, which used to own the Sabres and Adelphia Communications until they went under. Anyway, enough of an aside there. So one of these times, I don't know if it was at a rummage sale or if it was at one of the department stores, I got a game called Charlie Brown's All-Stars. And now that I've seen Stratomatic Baseball, and I look back on that game, and it was just like basically a simplified version of that. So I got it, and it wasn't the same as some games. Like, I used to like board games, but it was a sports board game, and it was kind of neat because I would come up with teams based off of my Little League teammates and some of my schoolmates, and we'd make 2 teams. And I was just playing by myself, but you could play out a game with that. And then another ththing I got like this, I forget if it's called NFL Strategy, but anyway, it's the one that's got the little ding 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 thing here. It like has this little slider bead which has a spring-loaded action, and you put the play in, and I forget the name of that. I had like 3 or 4 of those things for football. War and Paper Products made a card game that I'd like to pick up one of these days. I need to look online and find it. They had a baseball and a football one that I had, and again, it was just the same kind of thing. You could it wasn't as intricate as some stuff, but it was basically laying the groundwork for this. And then the next kind of step in this chain was you know, I started to have issues at work. We were my company was merging with another company in the chemical industry, and I was looking for ways to just kind of like chill out because I was kind of high strung at that point and sort of like doom and gloom. So my wife and I, this was kind of like at the beginning of this adult coloring book phase, right? And I think it's pretty much died out now, although I'm sure there's still people doing it. But it was basically pure relaxation. It's like finding something from your youth where you have maybe a little bit of nostalgia doing it, but it's also like relaxing. No boundaries, complete freedom. I mean, they may give you a picture that guides you at the beginning of the book on how to color it, but if you choose, salmon colored as opposed to chartreuse, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? I mean, it's your choice. If you think that would look good, by all means do it. You're getting relaxation. You're becoming less anxious through this process, So, I did that for a while. And then a friend who has a channel named RNGIDP, and we were in some fantasy baseball together. He saw me post a picture of a score sheet that I had scored a baseball game. Another thing that kind of is a nice relaxing thing. You're watching a baseball game and you score it, right? So he's like, you might like Stratomatic baseball. I'm like, okay. It's like, yeah, I play that, and it's and this is before he had a YouTube channel for playing the games. So I bought it and I started in on it, and then I started looking at some of the community. I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of neat. And then another thing that I had, not for relaxation, but more a little bit just for to satiate my golf. I love golfing, but it's expensive, and so disc golf was another thing that I had done as kind of like a pastime and still do. But one of the things I noticed was that disc golf was gaining a lot of popularity because it was using YouTube to market itself very well and to like get the word out and to basically win over a lot of younger people. And so I guess I just started thinking to myself, well, there are a couple of YouTube channels out here for doing the cards and dice stuff. Tabletop baseball was there, and baseball demos, and Al Wilson and Steve Tower were both doing stuff on the YouTube with this, but it was pretty low key. It was pretty small, and I said, "What the heck? I'm learning this game. Maybe someone would like to see me learning it. Maybe it would give them some, I don't know, initiative and give them an idea on a way to just kind of like chill out." And that's where this started. And just as an aside, RNGIDP, if you go subscribe to his channel, you won't see much new content here. It'd be great to see him get back to doing it. He's got kids and is at an age kind of like where it's not really so feasible anymore. But the other thing that was happening for him is he was out in the mountain time range, and as soon as he had time after his kids went to bed, it would be like 10 Eastern, 11 Eastern, and he just didn't get as many viewers. And so and this was when we were just kind of like first starting to do live streaming and stuff. So it's just the time didn't work out for him. But go subscribe. You might get back to it one of these days. And if you bug him, maybe he will. No, don't bug him. That's the last thing anybody needs. But so yeah, so that's one of the big things I find about this is like relaxation. I do like computer sims. I own Out of the Park. I own I own a few of these different things, but I never have the longevity with them. I guess it's probably because I use computers in my day-to-day work life, right? I mean, I don't use them a ton, but I like keep a notebook on them, and obviously the typical email, and now like Zoom and Teams and all this stuff. It's like this is a way to kind of check out. I mean, I've got this guy here. You're welcome, Apple, for the plug. Basically electronics are so integrated into your life that to be able to unplug from that, and not to sound like Amish or whatever, but to be able to unplug from that is kind of great. And as you've probably seen, as I do my third season of golf, the PC is quite integrated into my projects already. I probably don't need any more of that. If it weren't for this, if all I was doing was playing like action PC golf instead of History Maker golf in this third fictional season, I would have never come up with a rather elaborate spreadsheet system for myself. I wouldn't have learned how to use that. I wouldn't have learned how to use Microsoft Access for doing a baseball project. Sheets and Excel. I would not have the skills that I have developed, and I'll help others if they ask me. Usually, I don't try to spend a lot of time doing it because I have enough troubleshooting on my own. But I try to lend a helping hand if there's a problem that I can kind of like just sort out for somebody. So that's kind of the story of this channel and why we do this. And I'm going to try and support as many of you out there who are playing cards and dice. I think we need to kind of like keep each other lifted up, because and one of the ways I try to do that is like my thing is long projects. I just completed a second season football project, and it's a great feeling, and I feel like completing a cards and dice project that has some sizable length is a feat that really doesn't quite feel the same when you're just playing a Madden season or whatever. So that being said, again, nothing against the computer sims that are out there, but this is my way of kind of getting away and unplugging and relaxing. And so I'm kind of hoping that maybe there are a few of you who joined the channel from over the years who found it because it does sports stuff, and maybe you're into sports sims and have never, maybe you see a game with dice come across your subscriptions and say to yourself, this is kind of hokey. Well, this is my plea to say, well, give it a shot. Please give this a chance. It's something that may be right along your line of biorhythms, or like maybe it's meant for you. Sometimes you just have to keep looking for that one hobby that's just like, that's it. And I think I've had, I don't really, I guess maybe guitar is something that I've done for greater than 5 years, and I don't practice guitar enough, but I pretty much play this. I definitely play these games every week. Don't always make videos, but I'm hoping that through this video, maybe I will impel somebody to give Stratomac baseball or ATBA baseball or a football game or History Maker baseball or one of my gameplay videos. Like one of those things will get somebody to say, I'm going to give this a shot. So maybe this will reach somebody or two or three. That'd be great if it did. I would love it. And if it does, if you get 2 months in and you're still doing it and you're having the time of your life, if you could come back and comment on this video and just say, hey, this is something that it would tickle me pink, because like that's kind of the reason that I've been doing this, and a lot of other guys who are doing cards and dice stuff have done this over the years. So I already mentioned a couple channels, some others that are kind of like pretty regularly putting stuff out there. Utah Mike, RJL, Cards and Dice TV. Oh man, there's just so many to Tribe Fan. I don't remember he's got a number after. If you search Tribe Fan or something, look at my subscriptions. I think I have channels listed on my Espos out there doing some stuff here and there. Just tabletop sports. Delaware is one who comes, has his periods of times when he's putting out videos. Just we appreciate these guys who try to grit it out and stick with a hobby that is, it takes the time to do it. But some of us are looking for that. Some of us are looking for something that's just going to let us fall into a world of kind of fantasy, whether it's, whatever sport it may be. Sometimes we just have so much going on in our heads and so much chaos, turmoil, anxiety, all this stuff, that this is a world that we can end up controlling. This is something that's in our grasp. We can do it. And I hope you get to take the chance to do it if you're not already. And if you are, awesome. Great. And I hope you keep going. Keep playing your games. Get that next one on the table. But also make sure you love your families. Make sure that you give the time where it's needed to other things. Don't let this get too much of the things that really should be most important in your life. But this is just a great way to kind of like be able to keep your mind engaged on something that, again, is just like, it can be your world, right? It's your thing, and you don't have to worry about the EA Sports AI thinking that you've won 4 in a row and it's your time to lose one, and you start like NHL hockey. That's kind of like one of the things that I was always, you get in one of these like 8-7 shootouts, and it's like, that doesn't happen in real life, but they say it's my time to lose, and that's like, okay, well, I don't have to worry about that here, mostly because when I'm playing solitaire, I'm not really having a rooting interest. So anyway, I'll keep making videos here of playing games. I'm just trying to learn strat football first. I'll eventually get to the point where I make a video or two about it, but till I get back here with another game video, just keep rolling. If you could like this, if you think you might get started on this, very much subscribe to this channel or any of those other channels I mentioned, and there's so many more. Again, just look at where I look at some of my subscriptions. You'll find a lot of guys who do this, and so just have fun with whatever you do. But I'm just putting in my plug for the cards and dice and the tabletop sports. So see you next time. I'm going to get back to learning strat. So take care, guys. See ya. All right, 3rd down and 4. I'm going to go ahead and do a short pass to Kelsey, and they guess right. And it's a long gain. Nice. So we're going to look at the long gain chart, and it's going to be a 48-yard gain. Big long pass to Kelsey.